Today I will be reviewing some new and viral Middle Eastern fragrances that a lot of you have been asking me about. I have these fragrances for a while now, and I will say that now I'm ready to tell you my honest opinions about them. I'm gonna start off with Qissa Gala by Paris Corner. If you follow me in TikTok, by the way, I already gave you my initial impression about Qissa Gala and the other perfume that I'm going to talk about. It's just that in TikTok, I give you my first impression like right off the bat. So if you're the type who is always into new Middle Eastern perfume releases, you have to follow me in TikTok because there I basically review the fragrance same day or like next day I receive them. So going back to Qissa Gala, I find this fragrance very floral. Let me read you the notes. It has violet leaf, gardenia, ylang ylang, almond, lily of the valley, tuberose, coconut plum, musk, moss, sweet notes, and vanilla. To me, this is a floral bomb, mainly violet. So if you're the type who adores violet notes in fragrances, you will love Qissa Gala. And if you're the type who doesn't know what actually violet flower smells like, to me, they tend to smell like a sweet leather. That's how I interpret a violet scent. Now, Qissa Gala has other floral notes like gardenia, ylang ylang, tuberose, and lily of the valley. Those are very prominent as well, especially the ylang ylang and lily of the valley. So having said that, I'm going to categorize this fragrance as a very floral fragrance. I wouldn't say that it is very powdery though. So it's going to be florals, sweet almonds, coconut, plum, musk, and vanilla. Those are the standout notes to me, but consider this fragrance as a very floral scent. So you must be into florals, and if you are a big lover of violet notes in fragrances, that will even be a plus for you. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is a dupe of Huda's Easy Bake perfume. Honestly, I haven't tried that fragrance yet. However, I have a lot of Huda makeup products, and of course, I once had a makeup powder that I know smells like Easy Bake because basically Easy Bake perfume was derived from an Easy Bake baking powder. I mean, baking powder for the face, okay? And since I was using that particular powder for a very long time, I'm very familiar with it. Now, I can say that they're similar, but I don't find Qissa Gala powdery. This to me is like a floral bomb. I mentioned in my TikTok account that this was too floral for me, especially in the beginning, because when I tested it out for the first time, I oversprayed, and I really regret doing that because Qissa Gala is very strong. In my opinion, in order to appreciate this fragrance, maximum 4 sprays, because otherwise I think it can give you headache. So yeah, that is my thought about Qissa Gala. Like I said, I didn't like it at first spray. However, when I learned about that 4 sprays max, I actually started to like this fragrance. It is a very feminine, sweet floral scent that I know a lot of floral scent lovers will like. And performance-wise is amazing, guys. This one can last you more than 8 hours, and the first 2 hours, very strong projection. So yeah, I highly recommend it if you are the type who loves floral fragrances. This will be a sure winner for you. It is not a powdery floral, okay? So yeah, just keep that in mind as well. Ylang ylang, lily of the valley, and violet are the standout floral notes that I get from Qissa Gala. All right, next up is the beautiful Fayora Oshino. This is how the bottle looks like. And guys, let me just show you quickly the packaging it came from. So it is definitely giving Fayora vibes as well. And if you know me, I love Fayora by Paris Corner. It is my favorite Paris Corner perfume so far. So when they sent me Fayora Oshino, I was very excited to check this fragrance out because it does looks like a flanker. And I have reviewed this fragrance as well in my TikTok, by the way. So if you watched that video, you probably know what I think of Fayora Oshino. Anyway, let me read you the notes first. So it has exotic fruits, bergamot, lemon, frangipani, almond, peony, tonka bean, vanilla, and patchouli. This fragrance to me is definitely fruity and floral. There's something quite aquatic about it as well, but it's not an aquatic that is leaning masculine. This is a very feminine leaning fragrance. It is giving a designer perfume vibe. So I will say more of like a fruit chili kind of scent, meaning like fruits and heavy patchouli in the base with some sweet vanilla. Yeah, the kind of fruits that I get from here is like a fruit cocktail, like, the ones that you find in a can. So having said that, very syrupy mixed fruits. Yeah, so now reading the notes, I think the aquatic vibes that I'm getting is coming from the peony, and there's a touch of exotic floral nuance that I'm getting as well from the frangipani. It is a beautiful scent. It will remind you of a lot of designer perfumes back in the early 2000s, when all these fruit chili fragrances are coming out. It has that vibe, and I'm not angry about it. Actually, it is apparently a dupe of Carolina Herrera's La Bomba, and I actually like that fragrance. When I was in duty free, when I went to Cannes, I have tried several designer fragrances, and I'm talking about the new Burberry Goddess, the new flanker of Libre, the new Barenia Parfum, and they were all so to me. And the one that I liked the most was Carolina Herrera's La Bomba, because there's something about it that's just easy to wear and easy to like. Plus, there's something quite nostalgic about it. I'm telling you, if you try Fayora Oshino, it will remind you of a lot of designer perfumes back in 2000s. Having said that, very nostalgic. I really like this fragrance. And I think if you are the type who enjoys sweet vanilla, patchouli, and fruity scents in your fragrances, you will definitely love Fayora Oshino. Now, performance is quite good on this one. Lasted me around 4 to 6 hours, and I didn't overspray. I have a feeling that if I overspray, it can last me more than 8 hours. So yeah, that is my thought about Fayora Oshino. This is a beautiful, fruity, floral patchouli scent. And the last fragrance is something that everyone is talking about right now, Mahab by Nusuk. Guys, I'm so excited to finally share to you my thoughts about Mahab, because a lot of you are asking me about it. Apparently, it is a dupe of Amouage Guidance, okay? And we all know that there's a lot of fragrances out there that attempted to copy Guidance. And I have something in my collection that I raved about. Quite a good try when it comes to duping Guidance. This is Omniya. And I'm gonna compare them, okay, to you guys so you can make up your mind. First of all, let me read you the notes of Mahab by Nusuk. It has red fruits, incense, fennel, jasmine, peach, osmanthus, musk, rose, and sandalwood. I have used this fragrance several times already, so now I'm definitely ready for my final thoughts. The opening of Mahab reminds me so much of the opening of Bain al Asrar by Paris Corner. So, having said that, the opening is very similar to Guidance, but very watery and spicy. Like the fennel is really strong in this fragrance, and there's a big contrast going on as well with the pear and incense in here. So, the opening is quite sharp. Basically, like Guidance. If you have Guidance, like I do, you know that the opening is quite a challenge for some. So the opening is quite unlikable and quite watery as well. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The first time I tried it, I thought that, my God, it's going to be another Bain al Asrar by Paris Corner, like kind of a scent. Because if you watch my channel, you know that I really didn't like that fragrance at all. But with Mahab, that opening fades in like 10 minutes. The final dry down of Mahab is very close to Amouage guidance. I will say the closest dupe that I have ever tried. I know I talked about Omniya in my channel and I told you guys that this is a very good dupe of guidance. However, let me just tell you the difference between the two, okay? With Omniya, you skip that sharp opening of guidance. You don't really get that annoying contrast of pear, osmanthus, hazelnut, saffron combo. You basically jump to the mid experience of guidance. Omniya is very likable from beginning until the end. Whereas Mahab is quite unlikable and the first 10, okay, let's say 10 to 15 minutes, it is very spicy and sharp and it might come across like BO-ish to some. But the final dry down of Mahab, I will say, is closer to Amouage guidance. I think I described Omniya as like 85% close to guidance before. And with Mahab, this one, I will say, comes close to 93% to guidance. What I notice is that the frankincense that is in guidance is somehow similar with Mahab. But of course, in their note breakdown, it says that they used incense. So that kind of special frankincense that I find in guidance is present in Mahab, and I find that fascinating. This, in the final dry down, is a creamy sandalwood, slightly powdery rose, and clean musk combo that I know a lot of you will love. Very feminine and sophisticated kind of scent. And I think if you love guidance, you will definitely love Mahad as well. And yeah, having said that, I'm going to consider this now as the best dupe of guidance that I've ever tried. Just keep in mind that the opening might be a turn off, but the final dry down is amazing on this one. And I think actually in the air, it's not that obvious. I mean, the sharp opening is not that obvious in the air, only if you put your nose on the sprayed area. But guys, I think Mahab lasts longer than Omniya as well, and it projects better. So yeah, having said that, highly recommend Mahab. It lasts more than 8 hours. It stays for a very long time on clothes. Just that the first 10 to 15 minutes can be a struggle to some. But if you're looking for a good dupe of guidance, I highly recommend you Mahab. Now, if you are irritated by the opening of guidance though, and you want to skip that part, highly recommend you Omniya by Arabiyat Prestige. I hope you find my comparison helpful. So that is the short video today, guys. Actually, I am very sick this week and I just basically pushed myself to film this video because I know that a lot of you will be very interested about it. I'm having very bad cough and flu since I came back from Cannes. Yeah, I'm still recovering. Anyways, I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Once again, thank you all so much for watching and see you on my next one. Bye.